welcome to Movies, Films, and Flicks. I am Mark Hoffmeyer, and joining me is a man who has been hunting jumpers since the medieval ages because he is an immortal paladin. It's Norbert Morvan.
Yes, sir. Only God is allowed to have these powers.
Can I ask you a question?
Do it.
In the medieval ages, right? And you were a paladin, and so I'm assuming you just had a bow and arrow and a sword. You probably didn't have like. For the time, your technology was advanced, but
exactly.
It wasn't where it was in 2009. So,
correct.
When you're battling jumpers, right? How do you catch them?
Well, as you know, it was depicted in the film that we use electricity to shatter their ability to teleport across space and time. So because we didn't have, cathode ray tubes and, shall we say, higher technology like plastic, we would just stick a pole in the ground and then wait for rainy days to come by, and hopefully then, some lightning would come and we would catch in jumpers that way. So
it's just a lot of hanging out.
There's a lot of hanging out, a lot of prayer to the gods that we worshipped at the time, Bot and all that, and lightning would come and, oh, there's a jumper. Ah, we got him,
So it's
hail set.
Essentially by luck. By luck you're catching them, correct?
That's it, because, your regular throwing knife, it's not going to do well when a guy, can just, his jump scar. Oh my God.
So I heard about one time when the jumper jumped to America and you got on a boat to follow him there and it took you a year. And when you got there, he jumped back to England. How mad were you?
The worst thing about traveling across the ocean during that time, it's beyond just the up and down of the sea. I got motion sickness. There was no Dramamine at the time.
Yep.
Times were hard.
And you landed in Newfoundland.
Oh man. So everybody is there, they're throwing salmon at me and stuff. And I'm like, guys, I don't have my electric equipment here. Can we calm down? Where's the jumper? I didn't have my silver hair yet, like my boy Sam Jack. It was hard.
And then you trekked all the way to Boston, and then you're like, yeah, he left yesterday.
And there were no Celtics games at the time. This made it difficult. It made it very difficult to hang out in Boston.
Very difficult. What did you have? Like, you had the paladins in England, the paladins in Scotland, America. What were the paladins like in the different countries? Were you guys just like a big crew? What were the paladins like? Because you guys were zealots, correct?
The paladins in England, they just want to drink a lot of gin. The paladins in Ireland, all they want to do is, it was weird. They always want to do the dance and slunge and all that stuff. All I want to do is kill jumpers, and everybody else, they want to party all the time, a la Eddie Murphy and Rick James, cocaine wasn't a thing yet. It was hard. It was hard, man. It was difficult.
You know that Mitch Hedberg joke where he's like, I saw a wino, he was eating a grape. And I said, just wait, man. So they were all telling you, hey, just wait for this lightning to hit this pole and we might hit a jumper who's crossing past. You're like, I'm not going to wait. And you're like, well, you go walk.
Hedberg. Absolutely.
And then you're like, well, I guess I'll go walk 10 miles to see if it's there.
I would walk 10,000 miles and You set that up, man. I had to knock it down.
Are you saying that they were paladins?
This is the thing. Those guys, why else would they walk 500 miles? Not for a woman. There's no way,
They want to kill a jumper.
I would walk 500 miles to kill a jumper. He's against God. Those were the original lyrics.
So, all right, that's interesting. Now I have another question for you.
Do it.
Were you also responsible for the witch hunts and inquisitions?
Well, the thing about it is the witches, they were so much less interesting than the jumpers, because the jumpers, they jump into the king's palace, for example, and they come out with pieces of 8 or credible silver or maybe some chainmail. Witches, they're trying to resurrect mice and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So we kept the witches around because some of them were hot. They kind of dressed like goth chicks today, which was cool. But, you saw the movie, man. The jumpers, they're all cocky and, oh, I can jump. Look at me. Oh, I went to France yesterday. What did you do? Oh, I washed the dishes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nobody like that browse around.
Now, also, when you were taking part in the Inquisition, did you meet Mel Brooks?
Man. History of the world. Nice.
The Inquisition.
Yeah. No one expects a Spanish Inquisition, though. You know what I'm saying?
It's good to be king.
It is. It is.
Now, I have another question about jumpers. I had never thought about this, but at the final battle, when I think they're in Czechoslovakia?
They were all over the Sokovia?
Yeah.
The Sokovia? What?
Oh, man, they're just getting bombed by everybody. So I guess Marvel takes place in there. But so Jamie Bell gets electrocuted, and he's fine.
Yes.
He has so much electricity pass through him. If you and I were standing there holding hands for some reason, and that hit us, we would explode, correct?
Correct.
But it hits him, and he's totally cool.
Well, this is the thing. The powers are defined as you can teleport through space and time to any place in your imagination. And they kind of cribbed from Marvel, where, Nightcrawler, his power is as long as you've been there before, you can go there. But Nightcrawler was not impervious to electricity. And if he was on an electric tower as of the one in the movie, there's no way. He would explode. Absolutely. It's a weird movie.
And also, I just noticed this. I've watched, I've watched this movie a decade ago. First time I ever noticed this. Jamie Bell drives a truck into Hayden Christensen. Hayden and he gets hit.
He's fine.
He gets hit by he doesn't jump. I paused it, and the truck hits Hayden, and then Hayden just vanishes before he's smushed, and he's fine. So jumpers, but that makes sense now because when they jump, they dent things. So
they do.
So
as they displace space-time, I guess electricity does a thing to physical stuff. It's ill-defined.
And what I like, though, is this is where I make my money, Norbert, is in movies like these where they say, oh, yeah, I was part of the witch hunts. And I'm like, wait, what?
Right.
Or or this scene where they get hit by a truck. Because then these tiny moments in these movies, I can make a meal out of.
Absolutely. Break it down. Break it down.
I mean, so this movie, what I do like about it, right, is $85 million budget, directed by Doug Liman, who is super, super hot. He was Hansel hot from Zoolander. After Bourne Identity and Mr. and Mrs. Smith. I mean, he was red hot.
Smith was a good movie.
Oh yeah. I just watched that again recently for that Brad Pitt eating article I wrote. And
it holds up.
Yeah, really does
hold
up.
Great article.
Really holds up. And he's super hot at this time, Doug Liman.
Smoking.
So I gotta tell you something, Norbert. I'm probably one of the 14 people on this planet who know the most information about Jumper. Because I watched every single special feature on the Blu-ray, and it was stacked. I mean, there's
really?
So, this was originally, it was a book. It was adapted by David Goyer of Dark Knight and Batman Begins, all those. Then,
and I think also Blade he wrote.
Yeah, Blade, you're right. And then he went and then Simon Kinberg, the guy who's done all the recent X-Men movies, X-Men Days of Future Past, really smart guy, was writing it on set. Doug Liman directed this. This was a big pedigree. I mean, this movie had an $85 million budget. And they actually filmed in Egypt, Michigan, Ontario, Rome, Prague, New York City, Paris, Tokyo, and Mexico.
Really? I thought that was his green screen. That's crazy.
Yeah, so basically Doug Liman said, I am going to go around the world because I don't want to, they actually kind of slammed out, like we could be in a stage in Toronto on blue screen. Or we could go there. So they were actually in the Coliseum. So every day for 3 days, they had 45 minutes in the morning, 45 minutes at night to shoot whatever they needed in the Coliseum. Unbelievable. Now,
that's nuts.
This is crazy though. On the behind the scenes documentary, there's a documentary called Behind the Scenes, Doug Liman Uncensored. And he must not give a shit because it made him look bad because they're in the Coliseum. 45 minutes, and they're like, Doug, where are you? Doug, and he's just running around with a camera. So on set, he changes everything. Kimberg's like, I wrote this last night, so I'm ahead of the game, but I'm going to change it 3 more times. When he shows up on set, when he was here making American Made, I was working on another movie, but I knew people were working on American Made, the Tom Cruise movie, so it was him and Tom Cruise, and I guess things changed a lot. And Edge of Tomorrow, I guess things changed a lot. But when you're with Tom Cruise, you kind of just roll with the punches. But
you got to go with the whims, exactly. The whims of Scientology, totally.
But this Doug Liman, so he would just show up and what I love about it is he did not care about himself looking bad. He's on set. He's like, we're changing this. I don't want to do this. We're doing that. We're doing this. There's an interview with Sam Jackson, right? And Sam Jackson says, I have done over 100 projects and I have never worked with a director like this. He's like, it's very interesting. So for Sam
Interesting.
Well, the thing is, it wasn't a totally negative interesting, because I think if Sam Jackson didn't like it, he would say it. So I felt, and Doug Liman
with a mother effort. Totally.
Exactly. Doug Liman has worked with returning people, like multiple times. So I guess people come back to work with him. But he said that Jamie Bell, though, they walked up to him, they're like, Jamie, how you doing? And he goes off on this tirade. He's like, today I get here at 10:30. It's 6:30. I haven't shot anything yet. Why am I here? Yesterday, they're like, oh, hey, come get a haircut at 11:30. I sit there till 8:30 getting a haircut while everyone's leaving. Then I have to sit around waiting for the director to get in van so I can go back to my hotel. And he's just dropping every expletive known to man. All throughout the shoot, he's just swearing, cussing. There's a scene where Rachel Bilson is telling Doug Liman, she's like, I just really want to stop saying, like, I need help, or what are we doing? She's like, can I stop, like, saying that? Can I just stop being that? And then he just completely blew her off. And it gave,
really?
Well, not like blew her off, but he's like, I'm the director. And she was just,
I know what you mean.
She just seemed really nice about it. And she was like, oh, but I have more respect for Hayden Christensen now because, I think he just seemed super happy to be there. And he's just the chillest dude. Everything's changing.
He was trying not to be Anakin's.
Yeah. Exactly. No, you're absolutely. But on like waiting for Doug Liman, he was so chill. I'm gonna change gears again. Did you know that this movie Teresa Palmer and another guy were cast and they shot for 3 weeks, and then the studio said, "Wait, they're too young. We don't want them." So then they shut down production, hired Hayden Christensen. They actually looked at Eminem, but they hired Hayden Christensen. And I thought it was pretty interesting because the director, Doug Liman, what he said he liked about Hayden Christensen is, the director, you've researched, but the director wanted this to be an anti-hero movie where he shot a scene where during the big thing at the end where Bilson gets captured, he just goes to a beach and he was going to leave her. And they didn't want to have a bomb somewhere because he would just like, hey, there's a bomb in Colorado. I'm going to Kazakhstan. Like anywhere thing, but his writers were like, you can't do that. So he wanted to do reshoots, but he couldn't do it because when you shoot in 7 countries, it's like kind of hard. And
clearly
they had to catch that release date, I saw this movie in Korea. You saw this movie in Korea, correct?
I did, but I believe that I, quote unquote, acquired it through the internet.
Got it. You've heard my story 100 times. I was frozen on a walk on my first week there, getting over strep throat, and then I was just lost, and I found a theater.
Yeah,
totally. I was like, I can go see Jumper. So I think that's why I love this movie so much. But it's pretty interesting, dude. They were like lost and cold. And you know those fish pastries, Norbert?
Oh man, those are amazing.
I didn't know how much they were, so I gave the woman too much, and she just gave me a massive bag full of them, and there were kids behind me.
Yeah, they don't give change. That's right. And they will just give you product.
And I bought all of them. And the kids behind me were looking at the press because I had bought them all, so I just gave them to the kids. I'm like, I just spent way too much money on this.
You're a good human.
The lady was laughing at me. But I thought it was pretty interesting that they were brought in later. He had cast somebody else, like, well, we need somebody better. And, and interesting, Teresa Palmer had this to say about the movie. She's like, I'm being replaced by Rachel Bilson in Jumper. There's been things on this movie that were sexist and not professional at all. I cannot believe. Today, as a 19-year-old girl, I was put in such an awful situation. One day I'll tell the whole story, which is one of the crazy Hollywood stories. It's the biggest relief that I got replaced on this movie. For the 2 or 3 months I was attached to it, I could not sleep. I thought I was losing my mind, like my mother, and I decided to quit and go back to Adelaide.
Wow. No, I can see what she's saying. The female characters in that movie, not very strong. And then the random reveal of his mother at the end, spoiler alert, oh, I'm a paladin. Really? Ridiculous. They were clearly trying to set up a sequel in this movie. And the whole time you're just, I don't need more of this. I'm good.
They cast Tom Sturridge too. And then he didn't last. But it's kind of gnarly what she said in this. And I do think that Rachel Bilson definitely got the short shrift, and they kind of said that in the commentary. The guys they were basically saying that she was kind of like the butt of the joke the whole time because she didn't know what was going on. And she, the thing is, this is a really weird example, but that show Vikings, I like it. And this Ragnar Lothbrok kidnaps this Catholic, priest, a monk, someone in a monastery. And the guy in the monastery asks questions, and Ragnar answers them about the culture. So it's the classic bring in someone who doesn't know the culture so they can tell you about the culture, so you don't have to deliver like expository dialogue. But Hayden Christensen doesn't say anything to her. He's like, let's go. Let's just go. Come on. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go.
And she just follows.
Yeah.
She just follows, you know?
Yeah.
He comes out of nowhere after they knew each other in high school? He comes out of nowhere. He's bulky. He's quote unquote sexy now. And I'm in banking. Well, you failed algebra. Oh, I'm not lying. Okay then. And then sex scene. You know what I'm saying? Terrible sex scene. The love and the date montage. She's not a strong female character. It's not her fault.
Yeah,
it wasn't written well.
She was trying to fight for. I'm just really tired of saying this. And also during the commentary, there are these three men who are just saying, we didn't know if we wanted to clue this because we didn't want her character to be trampy. And I'm like, am I listening to three dudes talk about this? And then they're like, they said the great thing about Rachel Bilson is that she's very sweet. And this is her own decision. So she's not trampy. She's like sweet.
Jesus,
and it's not a carnal sex scene. And I'm sitting here going, oh my goodness, this is a pretty gnarly,
this is the mansplaining. This is what they talk about right there.
Yeah.
Because obviously she, early on when she's a creepy looking, weird Natalie Portman discount vague girl, because they absolutely went for that in the beginning of the movie when they're younger. She's a creepy discount Natalie Portman. She seemed smart. She was kind. She was sweet. When she was trying to stop him from being beat up by the bully, when the guy was trying to take his, the little diorama of Paris, whatever it was, with the
rice bowl.
You know what I mean?
Snow globe.
Yeah, the snow globe. Thank you, Jesus.
I said rice bowl
because that's his name. His nickname is Rice Bowl the whole time, and why is he Rice Bowl? Oh, his name is Rice. You don't figure that out until like 40 minutes into the movie.
Wow. I always wondered, why is he calling him Rice Bowl?
It's his name. Derek Rice or Damian Rice. So much of this movie they just leave out because they can't wait to get to the CGI fights.
Wait, Damian Rice, that's a musician. I like him.
Is it?
Blower's Daughter. I like that. Now,
is that Can't Take My Eyes Off of You? Is that a different guy?
Yeah, no, I think that's Damian Rice, and that's from that Closer movie where just four people four people are being terrible to each other.
Exactly. But they're in love.
They should
creepy.
On the poster it should say Closer, like we're horrible to each other.
Can't take my eyes off of you.
I'm gonna rip your heart out. This summer, 4 actors will rip each other's hearts out. Julia Roberts, Natalie Portman, Jude Law, and Clive Owen star in the
Clive Owen, yeah, that's right.
You will never feel better about feeling bad. Closer. Hey, that's you will never feel better about feeling bad? Hey now.
There it is.
Hey now.
Did you enjoy our date? Yes. I hate you. Let's make love. Can't take my eyes off of you.
I wonder how many guys bought guitars to sing that song after Closer came out.
God, just brutal.
Well, I know you did.
Brutal. Well, hey, listen.
That's the first time I messed you. You were busking on in a street corner in Korea.
You were not supposed to put that on this podcast. I'm leaving. Oh my God, I can't believe you revealed my terrible secret.
But I love that you were singing it in Portuguese, which is pretty amazing because you're a Life Aquatic fan.
Mis ojos no está aquí. Wait, that's Spanish.
No, no, I have to say something about this movie. There's all right. There's Dawn of the Dead, where for years, anywhere I walked around, I would think about how to barricade myself if zombies attacked. Like anywhere I go now, I'm like, how can I protect myself from zombies? Just because of Dawn of the Dead. But this jumper idea, I know probably people had jumped in the past, but I liked the idea a lot. I think this is a cool power, and I think it. I don't know. I've thought about jumping a lot, and I think it's.
Dude, you have to.
Yeah.
Jump face.
Jump face.
You know what I'm saying? That's why we created the jump face, because it was awesome.
I mean, it's a very cool concept, and I guess one thing I understand with Liman and Christensen. So this guy grew up. He had no challenges in his life whatsoever. He's just insulting people. he's watching people, he's watching people die in swamps and floods, and he's not helping. This is just kind of a dude who just doesn't, he doesn't care. He just lives a life of leisure, and this is our hero. And
He is.
Liman wanted to keep him as unhearable as long as possible.
As non-heroic as possible, you're saying. Yes, that's right. You remember early on in the movie, there's a scene where you see the people in a flood, and they're saying it would take a miracle to save them. And Hayden Christensen is like, oh, I'm going to go surfing in Australia.
Yep.
He gives it the whatever look. So absolutely, they were leaning towards that. But the script wasn't written well enough to actually develop the anti-hero thing.
One of the vibes I did like is they kept it moving a lot as a jumper would move. I never want a jumper stand. So I think there are elements that worked to it.
Yeah, totally.
I think he went in with a different idea. Then everyone realized this is a bad idea. Then he kind of had to turn it around a little bit. And then that cost the movie. Does that make sense?
It does, because actually the book is really dark, man.
Oh, really?
The book is really dark.
What's covered in that?
Is killed. His mom is killed in a terrorist attack. His father is incredibly abusive, and he spends his time in the book trying to find his mother's killer and bring his father to justice for what he did to his mom.
Oh, wow.
It's really a dark book, man. It's dark. And actually, the way that things are in 2019, it would be a really great Netflix movie, to be honest with you.
Well,
really great.
They made a YouTube Red
series of this?
Yeah. And Jamie Bell, as the latest as last year, was talking about doing another spin-off because he loves the character. He hated filming the movie, but he loves the character.
Yeah, the character's interesting, but that character was not in all of that Paladin stuff. It wasn't in the book at all.
Yeah. You know what's an interesting
concept?
It
was.
In the YouTube Red show, from what I read, the antagonist, the girl that's in it, she can only jump home. So if she's at school, she can jump home, but she can't jump anywhere else. So she has to figure out her powers.
But
for a TV show, you got to keep that budget down. So I guess that makes sense. And then she'll probably if you get a second season, you get more money.
Yeah, but the hilarity is YouTube talking about keeping the budget down.
Yeah, you're right.
AKA Google. Get out of here, son.
Yeah, you're right.
That's hilarious. We're not talking AMC. You know what I'm saying? where they have the characters of The Walking Dead on the farm for 12 episodes because they're trying to keep the budget down so they can set everything on fire.
I was on set season 2 as a stand-in for one of the episodes. And
really?
Yeah, this is when I was just starting in the industry. And they cast me to stand in for Scott Wilson, but I'm about 7 inches taller than him. And everyone was just looking at me. And I found out it was a kneeling scene. So I was like, oh my gosh. And the AD walked up to me and like, did you say you were short? I'm like, no, so I was doing a movie called Jane Mansfield's Car with Billy Bob Thornton. I did that whole run, but one day they just didn't need me, even though I had been booked. So they're like, well, we'll get you another job on something else. And I was like, well, I don't know if I want to do that. They're like, well, Walking Dead. I'm like, oh, okay. So I went there and I didn't throw anybody under the bus. I'm like, well, that just happened. They figured they wanted to get me something. So everyone on set understood and we kind of laughed about it. But I was on that farm and it was a mile away from the stage. So yeah, they definitely, their stage has been 8 different things in that world. Going back to Michael Rooker, who was in Walking Dead, heyo. And we just did a cliffhanger pod that Michael Rooker was in, heyo. And we're doing a Slither pod coming up.
Oh my God. I just watched that this week.
Slither?
Cliffhanger, I swear to God.
Did you really?
Cliffhanger.
Oh man.
I swear I love that movie. I love that movie.
I could go on
I'm sorry.
I got questions for you about that, but we can do that on our own time.
That's another time.
Yeah, exactly. But Michael Rooker, when we first meet Michael Rooker, this is what happens. The kid comes into the home. Michael Rooker says dinner is cold. So Michael Rooker cooked dinner for him. Then he asks the nice question, hey, where have you been? And then he notices, you're soaking and it's freezing. Are you okay? What's wrong? Then the kid walks upstairs spreading puddles all over the floor. And Rooker's like, hey man, get a mop, clean this up. Like, I'm not like, so this is one of those cases where, and there are movies like this where, you have a girl, when sometimes in romantic comedies, the boyfriend or the girlfriend that's going to get broken up to has to at the end just be a complete turd. But then there's those movies where they're actually pretty nice. and then they get broken up with, and you're like, these people are terrible.
That's right.
But in this one, they didn't really make Michael Rooker to be bad.
Well, they were trying to set him up as, I am terrible father Michael Rooker. I see that you have clearly been attacked by bullies at school, but, my only concern is the mess on the floor because your mother left me. And I'm kind of an alcoholic because you see me drinking beer and watching Family Guy, but not really. And also I don't shave. It was just poorly drawn, as a character. He was poorly drawn. Like I said, in the book, man, he absolutely beat the crap out of him and the mother.
Oh, wow.
But, they didn't set it up that way in the book. He was just kind of a dick father as opposed to, I'm Ike Turner.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And it's a nice house.
But I thought that was hilarious too.
They live in a nice house.
It was a nice house.
Yeah, and the kid has Master of Puppets poster on his walls. He has
totally.
His clothes look kind of expensive. He has a haircut. He has food on the table.
He's supposed to be an outsider.
Yeah, so
he's an outsider.
So here's this dad whose mom, like, she left him without telling him probably 8, 9 years ago. That probably destroyed him emotionally. And then his child leaves him. I mean, I'm sure he's not going to win any awards, but I don't know. You don't get the vibe that he's the worst. Maybe it's
No.
Yeah.
Well, it's because it's Michael Rooker. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It takes a lot. Listen, Michael Rooker has absolutely played a bad guy in a lot of movies, and he will dive into it and he will chew a scene even when he's not supposed to. But this movie, Michael Rooker's wasted. Diane Lane is wasted.
Well, you know what?
Because it's all about sexy Hayden Christensen. Look at me pout. You know what I mean?
You know why they said they brought in Diane Lane and Kristen Stewart and Michael Rooker? They had Tom Hulce from Amadeus teaching.
Yes, that guy's awesome.
Amazing actors. And what happened was Doug Liman and Kinberg brought them on saying, when we make these movies, we want to have huge names to make the world bigger. So you see Diane Lane and you go, whoa, Diane Lane's in this movie? And you see this person. So I think that was a smart idea, but there's no sequel, so it feels like the people are wasted, correct?
Yeah, correct.
Because, I mean, I guess...
And then she shows up... Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, no, go for it.
She shows up when he's in jail in Italy. You have 20 seconds, get out. And then, so you think, okay, mom cares. Mom is still alive. What's going on with mom? Then at the end of the movie, so mom, you're a paladin? Yes, and I'm going to hunt you. I'll give you a head start. What the hell?
Yeah, and Kristen Stewart was mean mugging him too.
Yeah, totally. They think he's some kind of freak. Listen, here's the real question, Hoffmeyer. Your kid is a jumper. Do you castigate him and try to murder him? Or do you just, hey man, you need to hop in to that bank, grab that cash, and let's just ball out. You know what I mean? It's just not a good premise. The way that they changed the book.
Yeah.
The way that they changed the book, they took all the emotional stuff, all the heart stuff, all the character stuff out, and they made it into, just summer sci-fi romp, which is fine. But then don't make Diane Lane's character hunt him at the end, or say she's going to hunt him at the end. It's just too much. It's too much.
I would wake my kid up at 1 a.m. and I'd be like, hey, go to the liquor store and grab me that expensive bottle.
Totally. Wake up. Give me all the scotch. Do it or else you're not getting fed. Let's go.
Now, I do like Jamie Bell's story because his parents were killed when he was 5 years old. And he's been living
that's a good movie.
He's been going to war with these, he has a paladin sitting chained to a radiator, unconscious. And then he drops him in shark-infested waters in the Atlantic and kills him. This is a guy who has been in the trenches for 20 years. And he doesn't mind blowing up an entire block to kill these paladins.
One paladin. That's the movie we should have been seeing. Absolutely.
I mean, I thought that was, I guess I kind of like that you have the new jumper who's just lived a selfish life, who had that luxury, with a jumper who has had that life of turmoil. And I heard in the commentary too that they wanted to make this like the second movie. They didn't want to make this an origin story. Does that make sense?
Okay. It does. And because then they assume the movie made $250 million. So you figure there would have absolutely been a franchise coming out of it.
And, you know, I know movies were released internationally 10 years ago, but I don't know if you remember this movie when it came out. I remember flying in, of course I flew into an airport. Well, I guess the Korean, you know, in Seoul, I fly, so I landed.
Your arms must be tired.
Hey, I jumped. I've never been there, but I just kept jumping in a straight line. Hey,
jump,
jump face, jump.
I followed your jump scar, and that's how I met you.
I guess going back to the international release, they released this on the same day everywhere. So sometimes, you know, Marvel will release 2 weeks early in the UK. Ant-Man and the Wasp opened up 6 weeks later in the UK. Yeah. This was be everywhere at once. And I remember that advertising, there was a smart worldwide international advertisement for that movie. I mean, I think if you're doing a case study on how to market a movie, Jumper's perfection, because it didn't really have A-list star. I mean, Sam Jackson, but he was the villain. Hayden Christensen was good, but he wasn't A-list.
We only knew him from Star Wars,
And a lot of people disliked him, which I don't think is...
I think like him.
No one came out well from Lucas, though. I'm going to say that. And I also say, I was reading the critic reviews for this movie, and they were so mean, dude. I don't think reviews could be written like this about movies anymore. I got kind of annoyed what people were saying. They were just saying it's like slick and sleek, good-looking clunker, elegantly idiotic. But then some guy was like, Hayden Christensen sucks. He's a lifeless blob of entertainment. Someone wrote, I liked the kid in the beginning better. He was better looking. And these are professional reviews. So people talk about people now, but critics were horrible to Hayden. But on this movie, he didn't really make the decisions. It was Liman's decision to keep him moving and to keep him like that. But I think if you're going to do a marketing campaign for a movie, a study, I mean, the fact that this made $222 million is a win for a movie like this.
Absolutely. The movie made a ton of cash, and it did exactly what the producers wanted it to do. It's a flashy sci-fi action, quote unquote, superhero flick at a time when did it come out? 08, 09?
When did I go to Korea? Oh, dude, 08, because, you know, I'm sorry, I keep saying 09. Yeah, I was thinking, in 2008, it came out.
Okay.
So it came out before Hulk, Iron Man, and Dark Knight.
Right. So it was before superhero stuff actually really started taking over the marketplace. Now, if this movie comes out today, they'll dig into the emotional stuff, and I probably assume that it would be closer to the book, and it would have been a much better movie. The hating on how Christensen looked, Christensen?
Yeah, Hayden Christensen.
Hating on how Hayden looks, that's not necessary. But, you know, there were certain parts of the movie where he's talking, and you absolutely get a flashback of him and Amidala on Tatooine. I hate sand. It's coarse.
Yeah.
It sucks. He's not the greatest actor in the world. He's handsome. You know, I wouldn't say that he's unattractive or whatever, but his acting definitely leaves something to be desired. When he's beating up the guy in the jail cell, why did you tell them? What did you say? It doesn't feel threatening at all. You're like, really, dude? Dude, whatever. You know?
Hey, Mark. Now, I do think that movie Shattered Glass used him very well. He was kind of this plagiaristic, snaky writer. And
so he's glowering the whole time. He's doing the down, looking down his nose at you thing.
No. He's like a squirrely little guy, and it's very effective. Now, remember when they tried to put Colin Farrell in SWAT and movies like that?
Yes.
And now he's crushing it in The Lobster. He's crushing it in The Killing of a Sacred Deer. He's really found his character actor niche. I felt like Hayden Christensen, I don't know, watch a trailer for Shattered Glass. Maybe we can do it during the break or after the pod. I don't know. But just watch it, and you'll see.
I'll check it out.
Just watch the trailer, but you'll see that the kid had range. I just think they were trying to lump him into, you know, a square peg into a round hole. Yeah, there we go. I was gonna try to make like a jumping joke, and I'm like, I'll just keep it. But I don't know. Hey,
I gotta boot it up, man.
Hey, so how about this? Let's take a break. Watch a couple clips of that real quick, and then we come back. We'll talk more Jumper. Welcome back to Movies, Films, and Flicks. And Norbert, I got something to tell you that might blow your mind.
Mm-hmm.
Think about Paul Walker in the role of the Jumper. What would you think about that?
That would have been awesome. Because Walker's got a gravitas. He's got a depth. He feels like he's been alive for more than 10 minutes, you know. Christian Sim, he always just strikes me as a little kid who's been put into a terrible situation, you know. He's looking for his mom at the state fair. Oh man. Yeah, Walker would have been great. R.I.P.
What I do like about Walker was, you know, movies like Running Scared and other films, he freaks out really well. So
yes.
when he's learning about the Paladins, Jumpers, he freaks out second to none.
Yeah,
so
completely.
I definitely would have liked seeing that. That'd have been pretty cool.
Completely. Walker would have done a great job. You know, I've seen at least the first Fast and the Furious movie, and he was not the worst part of it. I'll put it that way.
Now, another thing, I don't know if you liked it, but I did like the production design in Hayden's apartment. I thought that was
an awesome apartment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the pictures everywhere. I like the map of the United States. That took a lot of, whoever designed that put a lot of thought into it.
Well, the thing about it is, those types of apartments in New York, those lofts that are in the really expensive apartments, they're really laid out nicely, just like that. And, you get the sense when you look around that he's a guy, he's got no real attachments to anything. This is his quote unquote lair. Like the other guy said, when we were talking about his desert hole is a lair. So this place is set up as his lair, and all of his hopes and dreams, you can see them splayed out all across the wall. But then, how the hell does Sam Jack get into his apartment? I am from New York City. I'm telling you, there's no way in hell that type of apartment building, Sam Jack gets up there.
Well, here's the thing. I feel like maybe hours before he was in the middle of the Amazon.
That's another thing. Right. What's the time deal when they murder that the Spanish-speaking kid?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So
on the tree.
So I mean, yeah, because he was coming from the Amazon, right? So
yeah, totally.
Do they? All right, helicopter? Could he have landed on the roof?
Listen, here's the thing. New York City, 2008, 2009, post 9/11. They're not going to let him fly around. Number one.
Oh yeah.
Number two. Unfortunately, you're not going to let a black man with white hair, looking like Cisco's uncle, just, oh, I'm with the quote-unquote police. Can I sit up in this rich guy's apartment and wait for him to come in? It's not going to happen. How did he get in there? You know, Sam Jack is going all over the United States. I'm with the IRS. I'm with the police. I'm with the Treasury Department. People are just, okay, you know what? Let me calm down.
You know what I do remember? When I was over there, you went on a tirade about the apartments in Cloverfield.
Totally.
I remember I was just sitting there hanging out, and you went on a rant. I'm like, I don't even think I've ever been to New York. I have now, but not then. I was like, man, this guy's angry about loss.
Look, you gotta understand, okay? People used to work in a lot of these places that these people now are living in as lofts. You look at what happened in New York in the 70s and the 80s when it turned into just a shithole of degradation and crime. People lost their jobs because all of these businesses moved to Mexico and then later to China. And so some guy comes in, I'll pay you $2,000 a month to live in these apartments. And the Cloverfield guys, yeah, we're still oh, you know what? I'm not going to go political on your podcast, Hoffmeyer. I'm not going to do it. Okay?
All right. So how many days do you think this movie shot?
Well, you said they went to what? 7, 8 different countries?
Yep.
I'm going to say 3 months, 4 months.
Oh, yeah, you're pretty much right. 100 days of shooting.
There it is.
That's crazy. You know, they shot in Shibuya Square, and
no way.
Yeah, there were no extras. So they just, they couldn't pay for that. So anybody who stopped and looked at the camera, they said just a lot of the people in the square were like, I don't care. These two guys are fighting. Who cares? Also, they had Jamie and Hayden fighting in Times Square. No one cared.
Wow.
Definitely
no one cared.
No one cared in Times Square for sure. All the extras, people just coming up in Rome, which I thought was really interesting. So, it's pretty, I saw a couple people stare at the camera, but I liked hearing those on the production side. And also, they had a day off. So every time they had a day off, Doug Liman would just go drag Hayden Christensen somewhere. And this is why, like, the guy, they showed him one time. Doug was dragged Jamie, Rachel, and Hayden to London. Yeah. And Jamie and Hayden and Rachel just seemed really chill. They probably hated that their day off was going to this. But they cut to Jamie, and he's just looking pissed off. So angry at the world. Yeah. And Doug, by himself, would have Jamie and Hayden fighting in real traffic, and Doug would be chasing them with a video camera.
You see, I don't know how it goes in London, but in New York, you know, unless you're fighting actually literally in the middle of traffic, two people fighting, that's not going to stop the show. Yeah. So, absolutely, when you talk about them in Times Square beating each other up and nobody cares, I believe that 100%.
It's a a guy in a Batman suit walked by. Hey, what are you guys doing?
You know what I mean? Yeah. There's a Batman guy. There's a kid trying to sell you CDs for his mixtape. You know what I'm saying? Somebody down the block, trees, trying to sell you cannabis. You know what I'm saying? This is New York. This is just, you know, it's just the way it is.
I wish I could show this to my students though, because I loved everyone just sort of falling apart. Because I always tell my students on film sets, they're just a pain. You're 14 hours a day. You're kind of miserable. And I love this scene where the producer is yelling at Doug. He's just saying, we don't have time. We don't have time. He's like, we just don't have time. And then I guess they would have Sam Jackson there, and Sam Jackson's time was really limited. And like, well, we already shot all the days with Sam Jackson. Now I need to get him back. And the directors just kind of like, do it. You're going to have to.
Listen to me. Liman is from New York. Listen, you don't tell me that Samuel Jackson's not available, okay? You call him on the phone, you get his ass here, and we're going to shoot the shot, okay? You, Christensen over there. Bilson, you over there. Get it set up. Let's go. He's like a 50-year-old New Yorker. Are you kidding me? I'm not going to tell him what to do.
What I liked about him is he just moved. He just, and also, so Sam Jackson said, I've done over 100 films and this is different. And
interesting, quote unquote. And that's not a good one.
He also said, Doug Liman, that he based his character a lot on himself because he said some of his exes watched it. And they were like, that character's you because you just run away from problems. So, this guy took this script written by Goyer, very good writer, that made it basically about his like failure to commit, and he's also a pilot, and so he wanted to go all over the place. And another interesting story he told was, you know, he's like, you know, I'm in New York, but you go to L.A. and it's just debauchery there. And he's like, your moral compass gets lost, and it's pretty interesting. He's like, you guys live there. You know how horrible it is. And they're like, well, we probably can't talk about this because we have, you know, we signed NDAs. But this guy, I'm telling you, I really like this Doug Liman. Like, I like him because he tells you exactly who he is. Does that make sense?
Listen, the man is an old New Yorker. Yep. I'm telling you, there are certain things that you do when you're an old New Yorker that other people do not do. Okay? That guy, he's not going to take crap from anybody, first of all. Second of all, he wants it done this way. This is how it's going to get done. All right? Swingers, great movie. Yep. Edge of Tomorrow, classic.
Great.
All right? Born Identity, classic. Mr. and Mrs. Smith, he gets it done, man. Yeah. He gets it done. So these people, you know, they want him to, no, go over there, stand on your mark, and listen when I tell you. Action, let's go. Liman.
The beginning of the documentary, this text comes up, and I paused and I wrote it down. Doug Liman's Jumper started in May 2006. It shut down, and David and Millie characters were recast. 100 days of shooting, 9 locations. This is standard for Doug Liman productions, where he says scripts are unlocked, and we can change them at will, and we always have lengthy processes. So the documentary started with almost like throwing him under the bus.
There it is. It's his movie. And shut up. And shut up.
And there's a scene where he's playing hockey, right? And the whole cast is playing hockey. He takes down the producer. The producer just starts play wrestling with him. Doug Liman takes him, slams him on the ground, gets on top of the guy, and just starts like hurting him until the producer says uncle. Like, that's Liman right there. He'll just wrestle you down and make you say uncle.
He was born July 24th, 1965. I mean, that says it all. That says it all. Okay? 1965 New York. This guy. What's he gonna do? He's gonna listen to you? You gonna tell me how to make my movie? You shut the hell up and you hit your mark. Action. Done. I'm Doug Liman, goddammit.
Now, I just have a question for you. Jumpers, right?
Go for it.
Sam Jackson says, either way, you always go bad. And just looking at jumpers, would a jumper always go bad?
Well, what is the definition of going bad? Because you rob a bank, banks are insured.
Yeah. I mean, and you have poker chips. Those are chips, and they lose enough. So, I mean, I'm sure he had stole ATVs, but I guess everything was insured. He probably was probably quite lecherous.
Yeah, absolutely. He teleports to London, he bangs that chick, and he comes right back, and he goes surfboarding afterwards. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, so I guess that's a good scenario. But do you think there are others that would? Because he said, what could stop you from jumping into a missile silo, or does that make sense? Like, what could stop you from destroying the world?
Hoffmeyer, hi. Hey. I have the power to go wherever I want, whenever I want, and do whatever I want. So I'm going to destroy the world. What the hell? It doesn't make any sense. This is the power to jump into a bank, take what you want. Yeah. Jump into the Australian beach or whatever, go surfing. You know, you can see that all he does is just bra stuff. You know, he's quote unquote extreme. You know, that's all he is. He's parachuting guy. And if the movie was better, they would have showed us a jumper going bad. You know what I'm saying? Maybe there's a jumper that's an assassin that teleports into the consulate in Nigeria and takes the main council guy and boof, jumps 50 feet in the air, drops him, boof, and now he's a paid assassin. Like, that would be awesome if you found out.
Yeah. So that's like that's like the character from Ant-Man the Wasp. She can teleport through walls and stuff, and then they turn her.
Right. Or the bad guy in the red one who was in X-Men First Class. Like, he was a bad guy.
Oh,
he had a scimitar. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How did it go bad?
You know, I found a quote by the director, and it's kind of long, but I want to read this to you. I want to see what you think. How's that sound?
I'm here for it, brother.
All right. Honestly, when I was making the film, I'm a contrarian. There's the way everybody does it, and my instant reaction is, I'm going to do it differently. And so when I was making Jumper, I said that my version of a superhero film would be that the person doesn't become a superhero, they have a superpower, but they use the power to save themselves at the end of the movie, and not to save the damsel in distress. I thought that would be interesting, in the same way the Bourne Identity took what was in the spy genre and just threw it out the window. And then you end up in these moments where you paint yourself in a corner, and it's hard to get out, because you start to realize that these cliches exist because they work. And you've intentionally cut off a known thing that works to do something experimental. In the case of the Bourne Identity, it worked out. And in most of my films, it's worked out. In the case of Jumper, when I first showed it to the studio, they both loved the movie, and they said, you can't release a movie like this because audiences will flip out. You just can't have your hero do something selfish in the finale of the movie, because he went to a beach. And I believe them, and I still believe them. I believe that what I had done was a gimmick. Maybe I was too cavalier about it. You cannot deliver what an audience expects and deliver something radically different, but it better be equal to or better than what they expected. This committed the cardinal sin of just being different, but not as satisfying. I really didn't have a plan B, and I didn't have a supportive environment in which to figure out how to problem solve. Now, he did have a supportive environment, but he just steamrolled everybody. And then he wrote, we did give it a more conventional ending, and it lost a reason to exist. So for me, at the time, I said, this isn't a read I want to go back to. But now he wants to go back to it.
That would have been such a better movie. Imagine that. You know, Bill said, oh, help me. And Samuel Jackson, you will die. And he goes, you know what? I'm going surfing. Oof. That would have been awesome.
He jumped to a beach. And,
that would have been awesome.
And in the original script, she was just a girl he was traveling with. Which is horror, like, that's really giving a short shrift to a female character, just picking her up and using her and letting her die.
But that's what he was doing at the beginning of the movie. It's already set. It's already set up that he is bra, you know? He's extreme guy.
I guess
he goes surfing. He picks up chicks in bars. He steals money. That's it. You know what I'm saying? The chance to show him being heroic only to save this girl and then find out that his mom is actually a part of S.H.I.E.L.D., whatever. Blah.
Now, I got an interesting, right, so we're at a swimming pool, right, in Seoul. And
Right.
you've had a bunch of makgeolli and you tell everybody, I'm going to do a belly flop from the 15-foot diving board, right?
Right.
And everyone just thinks you're crazy because you're going to really hurt yourself. But you're going to do it because you want to entertain people. You go to do it, and at the last minute you kind of tuck in and you just do like a little side flop. Everyone's going to be extremely disappointed in you. So with Jumper, I feel like he wanted to make the belly flop in a good way, but then at the last minute he kind of tucked. And then that left kind of critics and some audiences feeling a little underwhelmed. Does that make sense?
You see, the thing is, when this movie came out, they didn't have the balls to make it like the book. If this movie came out like the book, we would be talking about this movie as a cult classic instead of just, oh, it was a cool looking movie. Because the movie looks great.
Yeah. No, the way they filmed it, I will say, it does move like a Jumper would move. And I like that about it.
It looks great. It looks great. But story-wise, you don't really care about this guy, man.
Yeah. And
the things that he went through as a kid, he got bullied. Okay. So what?
I guess I like it because of my situation there in Korea. I really like the idea. Totally. And I think I was a bit of a Hayden apologist because people were just so mean, dude. I feel like Deadpool fans have taken over the mantle of Star Wars fans. So the other day I wrote, in honor of Hellboy coming out, here are my favorite, not best, R-rated superhero movies. And this one dude was like, you're stupid. He's like, I like you, man, but this is stupid because I didn't put Deadpool on there. But yeah, like Deadpool fans, they just, I don't know, I worked those Comic-Cons for years. They just seem so angry. But going back to Hayden, I guess I was a little bit of an apologist. I saw it in Korea when I was freezing. And it kind of like, I got this from now on. I liked the idea of jumping. I liked that they went to Japan and you could tell certain moments. I liked when Jamie Bell fought in the Coliseum with the baseball bat. I thought that was pretty neat. So, for me, this movie, I've watched a lot of movies where, I don't want to say them because I don't want Captain America, but those movies, people get really angry at me when I say that. I like the side characters more in the Captain America movies. I like, Scarlett Johansson. I like Bucky. I like, Sam Wilson, Anthony Mackie. I like that. I mean, Paul Newman. So, I think
Paul Newman.
But they
was great.
I just think this character of his, I don't think I was ever invested in it. I just thought it was a pretty cool world. And
it wasn't, you're correct. No, you're correct. The world was cool. The powers were cool. The more interesting dude was the Irish dude.
Yeah.
Because he actually went through stuff. His whole family was murdered. His friends were murdered.
He could have had the blasé attitude, though, right? He could have had that, where...
Exactly.
I mean, that happens at 5, his family kills, he escapes. He probably kills his first paladin at 11, right? Then he finds out about banks. He's like, well, I've already killed people, so I'm going to war with them.
I might as well rob.
Yeah, I need money. And then he was like, well, since I'm already robbing, I can do... So you have this, almost like a villain battling these people. That could have made for a pretty interesting hero, quote-unquote hero.
Yeah, their anti-hero was right there. Ironically, they created the anti-hero that he wanted to actually feature as Hayden Christensen.
Whoa. Now, I don't, there are those podcasts that say we could do it better, and I always think hindsight, we have the luxury of hindsight right now. But imagine if he's the main character, and then
that would have been awesome.
But then he teams up with Hayden, who is Hayden, and he never committed to anything, and then he helps. And then then he learns the stakes. Does that make sense?
Exactly.
When you pull in your rich friend, that could
it would have been far better. It would have been far better. Absolutely.
I mean, that'd be a pretty cool concept. But even while watching this movie, though, it's 90 minutes. I still think it's breezy enough. If someone ever looked at me and said, "Hey, would you watch Jumper? Should I watch Jumper?" I'd say, are you focusing on it 100%? And they're like, no, I'm going to give it 80. I'm like, absolutely.
Yeah. It's quick. Yeah.
Does that make sense?
It's quick.
Are you cooking dinner?
No, it's quick.
Are you cooking dinner during it? Oh, perfect.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally. It's a background movie. Totally. Background movie.
And I've always defended, I don't know, I just like the idea. I don't know. I don't know.
No. It's definitely something that if you're on an airplane, it's a perfect airplane movie.
Oh my gosh, yeah, that'd be hour and a half. I would be
Because
so
it's
happy.
quick.
Yeah, I would be so happy because I'm like, I get to watch another one.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
It's a quick movie. It takes no real mental investment, and things blow up. That's awesome. But the better Jumper movie, we have just defined it, man. The Jamie Bell story of Jumper.
I think
That's it.
I want to see. I think more people should know the behind the scenes of this movie, and I would love for you to watch this documentary because they built massive sets. You know that sand layer of Jamie Bell.
Yeah. It was literally a lair. That's right. He called it a lair.
They built this massive sand pile, just huge. And then for the scene, they go out to like they go out to this really sandy area on ATVs.
Yeah.
And like Jamie Bell's on the back of Doug Liman's ATV looking miserable. And
yeah,
they just had Jamie chase Hayden all over the desert for 20 seconds of film. And just to watch that, hear them talking about the reshoots and the kind of stuff like that. I thought it was pretty interesting to hear all that stuff.
Oh, that would be awesome, man. Actually, listen. My favorite DVD of all time is the Total Recall DVD because it has the director's commentary with Arnold Schwarzenegger and Paul Verhoeven at the same time, sitting in a room talking about the movie. Well, it's the greatest director's commentary in history.
Should that be our next movie that we talk about?
Good God. Total Recall? Listen, I could talk to you about that for days.
So you want to do Total Recall for our next one?
Whenever you're ready, brother. Whenever you're ready.
All right. So, I don't know, like any other final thoughts about Jumper?
Well, the thing that I found really weird about Jumper, I mean, the trauma activates the superpowers. That's such a typical thing. Yeah. Teleportation animation is dope, but you mentioned Eminem. That is the thing, man. That's the first vibe I got from this movie, that he was totally Eminem mixed with Nightcrawler.
Oh.
That's what they were going for.
Yep.
That's totally the thing.
Do you think they should have, he didn't want to make many compromises on this movie, but do you think they could have utilized Hayden a little better in this role?
It all depends on what you think Hayden's skill set is, man.
Yeah.
Hayden's skill set is pouty emo guy.
Yeah.
It's not tough dude, Now, anybody looks awesome with a lightsaber in their hand. That's been proven. It's been proven. You put a lightsaber in a man's hand, he becomes one of the greatest humans in existence, in the history of human existence.
Mm-hmm.
But in terms of this movie, they shouldn't have used Hayden. Let's see. Who would have been a better Jumper?
I did feel bad, though. There's a scene where they said that they didn't want to do any expository dialogue. And if you notice the expository dialogue scene, they're driving, flipping, jumping. So they did everything to keep it from just a conversation. And I guess they kept a lot of dialogue out of Hayden's mouth, and they let Jamie do it. And they said Jamie just sounds so amazing when he lets that dialogue go. So I did feel a little bad.
You don't get it, do you? Right. Yeah, totally.
I felt who would have been so if they cast now, who would be a good Jumper? Is that kind of what you're saying?
Okay. At the time, Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Oh yeah, he'd have been good.
Because he's got the eyes for it, man. And he's got the depth. And he made even the exposition in Inception. I hate that movie. I'm sorry. He made the exposition in Inception interesting. He would have been way better as Jumper guy.
So are we thinking? Joseph. Oh, sorry. So what kind of age frame are you talking about?
Well, how old is Hayden supposed to be? Early mid-20s?
Yeah, I would say something around there, right?
All right. So somebody today
in their early to mid-20s. I mean,
early
we could really
mid-20s today.
We could do actor, actress.
Oh man, woman.
I mean, that would totally work just fine.
Ooh, female. No, I'm not even saying that it would have been bad. It would have been more awesome.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking right now. I'm like, that'd be pretty sweet. What about let's see.
The chick from Stranger Things? She's too young.
Yeah. Let's see.
She's too young.
I keep thinking Aubrey Plaza.
You know what? Literally, you have just made a blockbuster film. Aubrey Plaza. The eyes. Her eyes
Oh, man.
are just terrifying. They convey so much range and emotion. And when her dad is doing the abuse scene, because they have to put that in there. You know, the father's trying to hit her or whatever, and she just jumps him into Cuba and then leaves. And that's it. Aubrey Plaza.
Also, after watching, I love Bad Times at the El Royale. Love that movie. Dakota Johnson.
That movie was awesome.
Yeah, Dakota Johnson might be really good in that role.
Good call. Good call.
So I don't know if you've watched it, but I showed it to my production design class, man. I researched everything I could about that Bad Times at the El Royale, the production design and the Steadicam shots. I mean, that's a beautifully made film.
It was, man. And it was awesome, especially when they went outside and the people, we're going to come inside and get you. Yeah. I love that movie.
Oh, what about,
I only watched it once though.
What about Bill Pullman's son? The kid who's the army, the hotel registrar kid.
Is that who that was?
Yeah.
That would have been awesome. Absolutely. He would have nailed it 100%.
I like that kid.
He would have nailed it 100%.
He's in Strangers Pray at Night. Have you ever watched that movie?
I have not.
So
apologies.
If you're not going to watch it, just type in Strangers Pray at Night swimming pool scene. It's a really, it's a good scene. So definitely watch that. But no, man, I'm glad you joined me on this. I mean, you know, you and I both talked about this movie a lot in Korea.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now, granted, it was while we had a lot of Chinese whiskey. They call it baijiu.
Bro. But do you think it also connected with us more because we were living in another country? So you get that jumping.
For sure.
Does that make sense?
For sure. For sure. No, it does. You know, one thing that the jumping does, and it's something that the movie really didn't touch on a lot, is how he felt apart from people, how he felt outside of society. And if it had done a better job at that, instead of him just being, bro, I'm so cool, I bang chicks and I teleport with surfboard, people would regard this movie a lot better. And frankly, I think that's probably what the book touched on, which is why Liman didn't want to get into it. Because his movies are awesome, but they're not deep. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, absolutely.
Swingers is not deep. You know? It was cool, but it wasn't deep.
You're so money.
You know?
And
yeah, exactly.
And I think I think he kind of so Edge of Tomorrow, I think he learned a lot from Jumper. Because in that movie, Tom Cruise starts out very slimy. Like he's very,
he's a jerk.
Like he's ferrety. Like he's a little snide punk, you know? And then he goes through it. And then he becomes not slimy. And so I think Jumper really helped him. Does that make sense?
Yeah. No, it does. Because Christian, why should we believe Christensen in this movie? Yes, we know that he's always loved this girl.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But at the same time, there are no pictures of her in the apartment. You know, He doesn't think about her. You know, all he does, according to what we see, is teleport around the world doing extreme sports and banging British chicks.
And drinking gin.
And drinking gin, which is the worst alcohol on earth. I'll fight people with this.
Unless it's Hendrix with the cucumber. That's good.
Hey, you know what? Single malt scotch, brother.
Hey, when you come, if you ever come visit,
an older man.
If you ever come visit, man, I have a ton of whiskey at my house, man. So I'll bust you out some scotch.
We'll do that. We'll have that debate, brother.
All right, so we'll do a Jumper 2.0. We'll love it more because we'll have a bunch of single malt.
Literally, alcohol makes everything better.
All right, so I'm gonna buy the Total Recall Blu-ray. So you want to do this next, Total Recall?
You let me know, brother.
All right, that's awesome. Well, this was really fun, man. I'm glad you joined me for this.
Thank you so much for the invite. You are the king. I am the king's helper.
We're doing it again. Hey, so for me, Mark Hoffmeyer, for Norbert Morvan, this is Movies, Films, and Flicks. We'll see you next week.